What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the RAFscents YouTube channel. As always, I'm super excited and honored to have you with me. Now, I'm out and about tonight at one of my favorite places. Is Grove Roots Brewery here in Winter Haven, Florida, where I live. And I figured while I'm out doing one of my favorite things, I'll go ahead and do another one of my favorite things, which is make a fragrance video. So today I'm going to be talking to you about 5 fragrances in my collection that I rank as a perfect 10 out of 10. These are absolute bangers that I would gladly pay retail price and above to keep in my collection. Now, please note that these are only my opinions. I'm not saying that it's going to be the same for everybody. I'm ranking them based on their performance off of my skin and just how much I like it. So if you feel like I'm wrong about anything or have anything to say, please leave some comments in the in the comment section. I don't mind a little hate. It definitely helps my interaction, okay? And I'm also going to give you 2 honorable mentions, which are fragrance recommendations by my wife, ones that she ranks as a 10 out of 10. So I hope you're ready, because this is going to be really good. So as any good husband would do, I'm going to start off with the honorable mentions that my wife chose out of my fragrance collection that she says is a 10 out of 10 on my skin. And the first one of those is from Tom Ford. It is Tuscan Leather. She absolutely loves this fragrance. It is a good bad boy type of leather fragrance. It's got some woody notes, leather, suede, saffron, and raspberry. Now, you got to be ready to pay a little bit of a price for this one, because this is one of the more popular ones in Tom Ford's private line. We're talking 50 milliliters will cost you over $200. Is it worth it? That's up to you. But as far as my wife is concerned, it is. It lasts a decent amount of time. It projects quite a ways away, and she just can't get enough of this. So Tom Ford Tuscan Leather is for my wife. Now, the second honorable mention from my wife is one that I almost put as a 10 out of 10 as well, but I didn't quite do it because of how strong this fragrance is. It honestly kind of scares me when I spray it on, because I'm always scared that I'm going to gas people out. But my wife doesn't care. She loves it. It is Dior Sauvage Elixir, the latest release in the Sauvage line, and it is amazing in my opinion. It's got things like lavender, cinnamon, and sandalwood, and it is a very mature scent. And when I say it's powerful, 2 sprays will get you about 3.5 years of longevity on a bad day. Not quite, it's about 12 to 14 hours, but it is incredibly strong. Now, it keeps enough of that Dior Sauvage DNA to still be considered a Sauvage, but it really does set itself apart from the rest of the line. And the notes in here really scream maturity, scream a guy in his 30s. All right, and it is kind of divisive, because a lot of people think that they smell something like licorice in here, and I can get that. I definitely can understand that and can kind of relate to that as you smell this. But for me, it smells like Christmas. It is such a great scent. But that's the second honorable mention for my wife, Sauvage Elixir. Now let's get on to my picks for what I ranked as 10 out of 10. Now, this first fragrance I've already covered in like 3 or 4 different fragrance videos, and I'm gonna have to get off of it at some point, because I'm pretty sure that you guys may tune me out. But there's a reason that I'm recommending this fragrance so much. It is Parfums de Marly Layton. And the reason I'm recommending it is because it's freaking amazing. Lavender, apple, vanilla, and some woody notes just make this an all-around incredible scent. The performance is on point. The likability and the compliment factor is on point with this one. It really does give people some confidence, especially when they've never had a niche fragrance before. This is a 75 milliliter bottle, and it is actually, if you know where to look, it is actually one of the more affordable niche fragrances. You may disagree, because a lot of times you see it in a place like Nordstrom or Neiman Marcus for about $275 or $300 for this size bottle. But I'm telling you, last week it was on Joma Shop for $166, and I even bought this bottle on fragrancebuy.ca. Back in the day, this is about a year and a half ago, I bought it for $136. I'm telling you, you can find this and you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it. So be shopping around, but this is definitely a 10 out of 10. Next up, for a fragrance that I would rank as a 10 out of 10 is a fragrance that I actually just got in my collection a couple of weeks ago. Now, I have smelled it plenty of times before that, and I'm confident in my ranking as far as I'm concerned. It is from the niche house of Tiziana Terenzi. It is Hale Bopp. This is such an incredible scent, incredibly unisex, but it's masculine enough that guys can pull this off and not have to feel self-conscious about it. It is a warm, amber-based fragrance, and I'm meaning serious amber, but it's also got some other notes like nutmeg, vanilla, lemon, and sandalwood in here. Now, what I tell people whenever they ask me about Hale Bopp is that this is everything that Dolce & Gabbana, the one Eau de Parfum, wants to be in life. Think of that ambery warmth that Dolce & Gabbana gives with its fragrance, but add a little spice and then boost the performance by about 5. And that's what you have in Hale Bopp. It is astoundingly pleasant, and I was so happy when I discovered this house. I just can't get enough of this. I absolutely rank this a 10 out of 10, and it is worth every penny. I tell people that all the time, worth every penny, but I really mean it. Hale Bopp by Tiziana Terenzi. Next up for my 10 out of 10 fragrances, we are going with a designer scent that was recently discontinued and made me super sad, but it is incredibly awesome and it screams gentleman. It is Prada L'Homme Intense. Such a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Now, this is an iris-based fragrance, and yes, floral fragrances can work great for men, so don't run away from this fragrance just because its main note is iris. But it's a powdery iris that's also got some notes like amber, patchouli, some tonka bean, and sandalwood, as well as leather. And that leather is a great base note that boosts its masculinity after it starts drying down. Now, its predecessor, which is the Prada L'Homme, it's even more powdery. I think it's a little bit, I don't rank that even as a 7. It's more like a 5 or 6. It's a very office-safe fragrance, but it's just a little bit too lavendery, too irisy. But this one changed the game. I think this is absolutely amazing. It's got great longevity and it's surprisingly versatile. So you can wear this in a number of different seasons, in a number of different situations, and you'll be just fine. And a special shout out to my friend Omar from School of Scents. He actually got this for me as a gift. Thank you so much, my brother. I love you. Moving right along to our next scent, I'm actually going to be playing off of the Prada L'Homme Intense because this one smells very similar, probably because it's another iris-based fragrance. But instead of going suave gentleman like the Prada L'Homme Intense, we are going to go with the romantic gentleman. It is Dior Homme Intense, the best fragrance from the Dior Homme line in my opinion. Now, I really appreciated the Dior Homme Sport and the other Dior Hommes as well, but this one is just super, super nice. Like I said, its top note is iris, but it's sweetened with a little bit of pear. It kind of gets, some people compare it to something like lip gloss or some type of, you know, that sweet makeup-y type vibe. But it's got some woody undertones as well, and that's where the masculinity is going to be found in this scent. I use this as my signature scent anytime I go to a special occasion for somebody like a wedding. I wore this for a couple of weddings so far, and I'm going to continue to do so. But it is also very versatile. It's very light. It's not a very heavy fragrance. But in spite of how light it is long-lasting. I'm getting about 6 to 8 hours off of my skin, depending on the heat. But this one right here, 10 out of 10 all day long. I hope you guys agree. Let me know in the comments below, but Dior Homme Intense, my man. I don't know why I kissed it. So for the last fragrance on this list, it is actually my most recent acquisition, and as soon as I smelled it, I knew it was going to be a 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. I've worn it probably 5 times in the last 7 days that I've had it. It is from the house of Zerjoff. It is Zerjoff Naxos. Oh my goodness, it is an absolute work of art. If you enjoy tobacco-based fragrances, this is the one that you need to check out. It's got some top notes of lavender and lemon, but it's also sweetened with honey, and it's got some tonka bean and vanilla in there as well. But the way that they mix this and the chemistry behind this just really, really floored me. Now, it reminds me a lot, for those of you guys that know anything about Thierry Mugler's Amen Pure Havane. This has some similarities to that, with the exception that it is much louder. I'm talking, this is on par with something like the Sauvage Elixir or the Parfums de Marly Layton. That's how strong this is, but it is an easy blind buy. I'm talking, you cannot go wrong when you purchase this. And so it's quite expensive though. This bottle I got on discount, and it was about $240. So we're not, we're not talking loose change here. You're probably gonna have to save up for this. But I'm telling you what, it's worth putting off buying a couple fragrances here and there to get this one bottle, because you are going to want to keep this in your collection forever. Zerjoff Naxos, a definite 10 out of 10. So there we are, my friends. These fragrances get a perfect score in my book. What do you guys think? I want you to let me know in the comments which of these fragrances you think is a 10 out of 10, or what you think should have been added to this list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure that you like, subscribe. I want to keep you guys here for the long haul and just share with you my fragrance journey and get to see a little bit more about your fragrance journey as well. You guys take care. I love you. We'll see you next time.